Tonight on Global News, Canada's highest court rules on Quebec's separation. Striking back, the U.S. targets alleged terrorists, and the CNE opens tomorrow.
Global News with Jacqueline Milcharik.
Good evening. The country's highest court released a unanimous decision today. Quebec does not have the right to secede unilaterally from the rest of Canada. Global senior parliamentary correspondent John Burke begins our coverage tonight from the court where the judgment was handed down.
In the Supreme Court lobby, they gave lawyer Guy Bertrand cheers of victory. Bertrand is the one-time separatist who launched the legal challenge to Quebec independence. He argued in front of the court last February that Quebec has no legal right to unilaterally leave the country. Today, the court agreed. The 78-page ruling was unanimous. All 9 judges said that separation is not a simple matter. They say that even with a referendum victory, Quebec could not invoke a right of self-determination and dictate its terms of departure. At the same time, the justices say a clear yes vote in Quebec would trigger bargaining and force all parties to come to the negotiating table. In the event of another referendum, the decision says both the question and majority in favor must be clear. Finally, the court found that Canada's constitution and not international law would be the legal path to possible Quebec independence.
Mr. Bouchard will have to respect this decision. It will be impossible for him now to make a referendum. This is a referendum because he will place himself above the law.
The country's highest court was very careful in this landmark ruling. It refused to designate winners or losers. Instead, it published a complicated roadmap for legal separation.
No, you can't get out under the Constitution. No, you can't get out in international law. But if you really want to get out, and you tell everybody you really have to get out, a way will be found to get out.
The Supreme Court ruling is not binding. It does amount to strong advice that all politicians must listen to. In Ottawa's case, that puts the ball back into the court of these key Chrétien cabinet ministers.
It has produced a balanced and carefully considered decision. The Government of Canada will respect and follow its opinion. We expect that all governments and citizens in Canada will do the same.
While the issue is now back in political hands, the federal side seems to be in no rush to say what a clear question and a clear majority really means. But one senior minister privately says the mark is 60% in a referendum in order to spark negotiations. John Burke, Global News, Ottawa.
And joining me now is our Ottawa Bureau Chief, David Viano. David, the Supreme Court really tiptoed its way around what is a very delicate issue here, didn't it?
It certainly did. Well, it said Quebec could not secede unilaterally. It said that in future, Quebec can go, assuming its voters say yes to a clear question and then vote with an overwhelming majority. The questions here are what's a clear question and what's an overwhelming majority.
And we didn't get a clear yes or a no in terms of today's ruling. We got a roadmap. It's not very passionate. I'm wondering, what do you think that will do to the separatist cause?
Well, right now, I think you'll see some calming. There's not enough here for Lucien Bouchard to immediately call an election. But if he were to call an election and win the next time around and have another referendum, then it will heat up because there will be an enormous amount of debate over the formation of the question in the referendum and what constitutes a majority. As far as he's concerned, it's 50+1. Prime Minister Jean Chrétien says it's definitely not 50+1.
So what will we see in the next few weeks, few months ahead, do you think?
In the next few weeks, there'll be a lot of speculation in Quebec on whether or not this is going to lead to an election. There was already that speculation, but as I said, I don't think Bouchard has the lever he needed to stir up the separatist masses to go now. So if he doesn't call, then it'll be a spring election and things should quiet down for some time.
All right, thanks very much. Our Ottawa Bureau Chief, David Viano. And reaction to the historic Supreme Court ruling came swiftly, with interpretations being spun just about every which way. In Ottawa, Intergovernmental Affairs Minister Stéphane Dion said the court ruling made it clear Quebec would have to follow rules and negotiate with the rest of Canada should it choose to separate.
What we have done today is to protect the right of Quebecers to stay Canadian as long as they want to stay Canadian. Never Quebecers will lose their country in confusion.
But the Reform Party wanted to see Ottawa elaborate on the terms of secession.
The federal government can clarify the rules of any future referendum And I would add the federal government should get on with making sure that the Federalists in Canada win any contest in the future.
For Bloc Québécois leader Gilles Duceppe, the ruling changes little.
There's a large consensus in Quebec that it's up to the people of Quebec to determine their own future.
Sovereigntists holding power in Quebec felt much the same way.
Quebecers will know when they vote yes next time, the rest of the country will be forced to negotiate with them.
The winners are the 7 million Quebecers who live in the province of Quebec today and who know that their right to decide their own future is something that will never be changed.
But Jean Charest adds negotiating minority rights would be the challenge. The Grand Chief of the Crees is pleased that the court ruling gave them a say on separation.
The court highlights that the boundaries of a seceding Quebec would have to be defined, and I quote, with a particular regard to the northern lands occupied largely by Aboriginal peoples.
Quebec's English minority was also rejoicing, betting Quebec will not secede based on the obstacles at hand.
This is a Solomonic judgment. I hope that it's read by all Quebecers, and so let him go to the polls.
Well, violent fallout in Sudan tonight, where hundreds of demonstrators have stormed an abandoned U.S. embassy. The rampage comes just hours after 100 Tomahawk cruise missiles touched down on alleged terrorist camps in Sudan and Afghanistan. Jonathan Freed is in Washington tonight.
It was entirely unexpected. The president broke off his summer vacation with an urgent announcement that the United States had struck back following the terrorist bombings of the U.S. embassies in East Africa.
I ordered our armed forces to strike at terrorist-related facilities in Afghanistan and Sudan.
The targets were said to be part of what was described as the terrorism network of extremist Saudi millionaire Osama bin Laden, a terrorist camp in remote Afghanistan, and what Mr. Clinton described as a chemical weapons site in Sudan. These pictures from Sudanese television show the building in flames following the attack. The Sudanese government claims it is not a chemical weapons facility, but a factory that makes medicine.
Our target was terror. Our mission was clear: to strike at the network of radical groups affiliated with and funded by Osama bin Laden, perhaps the preeminent organizer and financier of international terrorism in the world today.
The president said there was compelling evidence that bin Laden's forces played key roles in the embassy bombings, as well as previous attacks, and that the United States had information that still more assaults were being planned. Until the president announced the military strikes, attention was riveted on the federal courthouse here in Washington, where Monica Lewinsky was testifying again. At least 2 Republican senators are now questioning the timing of the attacks. Jonathan Freed, Global News, Washington.
As mentioned, Monica Lewinsky's grand jury appearance has all but disappeared from the headlines. Today, for the second time, Lewinsky testified before the grand jury about her affair with the president. The session lasted 4 hours, and when it was over, a spokeswoman said Lewinsky is looking forward to getting on with her life. News for asthma sufferers tonight. There's a new pill being developed by a Canadian company. As Linda Boyle reports, doctors hope the drug will especially help asthmatic children.
This little pink pill is being touted as a big advance in the battle against asthma.
And it's provided some freedom, and I'm totally off the inhaled steroids.
It's a Canadian solution developed by a scientific team at Merck Frost in Quebec. The drug is called Singulair, and it's the second in a new class of asthma drugs. Unlike steroid inhalers that act as anti-inflammatories, the new drugs work by blocking the release of chemicals involved in the asthmatic reaction, helping to prevent inflammation of the lungs. The first such drug, called Accolade, is approved only for asthma sufferers who are 12 years of age and older. But Singulair is approved for ages 6 and up. Asthma specialists say it's an important alternative to steroid use in children.
Even doses as low as 400 micrograms, which is what we consider low-dose steroids, also still have some effect on height gain in children. So there is increasing concern about using a steroid-type medication.
One study showed that 40% of patients who took Singulair once daily were able to give up steroid inhalers. That compares to 29% who took a placebo or dummy pill. No side effects have been reported, but this asthma specialist doesn't see Singulair as a replacement for inhalers, but as something to be used in conjunction with them.
These drugs, we believe, will allow us to maintain a level of control, perhaps with less inhaled steroid.
And not everyone can benefit from Singulair. It doesn't work in 1 in 4 asthma sufferers. But for those it does help, there's a real sense of relief.
It's just sort of giving me back control of my breathing. That's the way I feel.
Linda Boyle, Global News, Toronto.
Coming up on Global News, the twists and turns of testimony from a dominatrix. And it's old, a 5th century mosaic floor on display at the CNE. Okay, I have some sad news tonight. I looked up at Maple Tree, and it was no longer green, it was turning red.
I know.
Can you believe this?
I can, because I understand that some of those trees up north are already turning. It's too soon. Go away. Spring is not, or fall is not here until September the 23rd, and we don't want to see those trees change until October. But we do have more sunshine in the forecast, a very nice weekend ahead, maybe some trouble on Sunday, but not a big deal.
So I guess you can't reverse those things
No.
once they start.
That's change of
I didn't
season
think so.
stuff.
Okay, thanks, Susan. We'll be right back with Susan's weather and more stories after the break.
Hey, Brian, is that you? No, it's your girlfriend. Funny. Will you pack me the Clearasil face wash? Why don't you use what you've got in there? Think about it. Are you gonna wash your face with the same stuff as your armpits? Look, Clearasil has a medicated formula that foams away dirt and helps get rid of built-up oil. Use it every day. Clean skin is the first step to clear skin. Cool. So pass it over, will you?
Clearasil now. Clean skin from now on.
I joined the Kokanee Mountain Patrol because I really like helping people.
Excuse me? Yeah, can you turn that music up, please? Just turn it up. Look, we got a bit of a problem. Your neighbor called. It's getting late, and you haven't even invited him over yet.
Wait a minute. I thought that he was in Hawaii.
Hey, looky here, huh?
I have never seen that before in my life. And I don't know who brought that. Who brought that?
Cool, Chris, tasting Kokanee. It's the beer out here.
We're out here helping people. That's what makes it all worthwhile.
Artie, you have to get in the middle, pal.
I need a window. I'll barf if I don't have a window.
Yeah, the inner tube can go in ours as well.
I sit in the front. Mommy's pushing. I can sit anywhere. Yeah, well, you're ugly.
Am I going to have to come back
Watch
there?
out for the fishing rod.
So how long is this drive anyway? I can't breathe, dog, yet. You need a van. Enter Zeller's A Van Would Be Good contest. It's the biggest van giveaway in Canadian history. 125 Chrysler minivans. Come to Zeller's for details.
Okay, we have some showers moving through. Not a big deal tonight. Concentrated around South Central and Eastern Ontario. The most will come overnight, and it will be for the east. Pretty much ended for the northwest and the far north and even cottage country. It is looking very good. There was a little bit of instability for the extreme southwest, but that's over as well. Here's our current map, and wind speeds continue light and pretty much variable in direction. There's a chance of fog overnight for the northwest. This system overnight is going to head off to the east, and this one is going to move southeastward. So on the map tomorrow, really no precipitation. We thought there'd be some lingering in the morning, but there's probably going to be a little more cloud cover around, but we should quickly clear out. This fog will dissipate. You see some sunshine, a mix of sun and cloud to the north, the northeast, and eastern Ontario, but throughout the day, because the system is nearby, there's maybe a 20-30% chance of some showers and a little bit of daytime heating mixed in. So central Ontario looks perfect tomorrow, and a 20 or 30% chance of showers in the extreme southwest. Our Saturday, fabulous. Our Sunday, well, you see this little track line? It's actually a trough that extends from a low-pressure disturbance. That will move through, and hopefully it moves slowly so it doesn't head our way until Monday. But our thinking right now is Sunday and Monday, there's a chance of showers. Not a big deal, but about a 40-60% chance of showers in the forecast. Temperatures tomorrow, northern and central Ontario with that sunshine, 19 to 24 degrees. Some very nice readings in through here. The lower lakes and the east, we're looking at a range of 24 to 27 in Toronto and Windsor, maybe getting a little bit warmer than that with the strength of the sunshine. So here we go, closer look at your region for the next 4 days. Sudbury, North Bay, Timmins, and the Sioux. A mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, 24 degrees, 2 degrees above where you should be, down to 21 on Saturday. Keeping that sunshine, though, and 70% chance of showers Sunday, 60% on Monday. For Ottawa, Kingston, Cornwall, Peterborough, and the Kawarthas, a mixture of sun and clouds tomorrow. As I mentioned, slight chance of showers here. Still a northwest flow to 20 in your high 24. A sunny Saturday and 22. Increasing clouds with a 40% chance of showers on Sunday, and more showers for the start of next week. Now for Georgian Bay and Haliburton, a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow, 24. Mainly sunny on Saturday, increasing clouds on Sunday. So for a part of your Sunday, you'll see some sun, and then you'll cloud over with some showers, a 60% chance there, and for the start of next week as well. Windsor, London, Sarnia, and Chatham, a mix of sun and clouds tomorrow with the chance of showers in 27. Mainly sunny on Saturday, 26. Sunday morning looks okay, and then you start to cloud over with showers, and actually your Monday looks a bit unsettled, but 27 degrees as well. Here's Toronto, Hamilton, Kitchener, and Niagara. CNE, first day tomorrow. Again, cloudy in the morning. It will not spoil the day with a mix of sun and clouds in 27. No precipitation predicted here, and light winds. Almost perfect, I think. Mainly sunny on Saturday. Sunshine on Sunday morning, and then clouding over with the risk of some activity there in 26. Much the same for Monday. Cloudy with some scattered showers, but temperatures will remain around seasonal. It's a beautiful night out tonight, too. Winds are light, and it's basically clear now with the odd sprinkle, but looking pretty good.
And the CNE you mentioned, which opens at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and Global News will be there for the opening.
And we're going to be there live for the 5:30 and 6.
And I hear you're going to be cooking up a storm?
Yeah, at 3 o'clock.
Or trying to cook up a storm?
Oh, stop it, Jacqueline. I'm a cooker.
I
won't tell you what I'm cooking.
And admission's $16 for adults. That includes rides.
Yeah.
Kids 6 and under are free. $9 for seniors.
It's always
and
a good
the
deal.
featured country, the Philippines. And we'll have more on the CNE opening later in our newscast. But first, whips and humiliation. Terry Jean Bedford sheds some light on the dark side of S&M. That story just ahead. Stay with us.
Before there be your last shot back, I hope you use a good picture.
See what all the buzz is about.
Like the form.
Slums of Beverly Hills is hilarious. An edgy comedy.
Vivistacked.
Shut up!
Riskier and funnier than the rest.
What's that on your face? Leave her alone. It's for her mustache.
Dad!
With a terrific cast.
We're freaks.
Female problems.
Fox Searchlight invites you to a place you always wanted to go.
Let's go to Sizzler.
Slums of Beverly Hills. Starts Friday, August 28th in select theaters.
We, the children, need the following. We need encouragement. We need to laugh. We need inspiration. We need to be read to. We need to have self-esteem. Love and security, adventure, discipline and freedom. We need to make mistakes, ask questions, to imagine. We need to win, and sometimes we need to lose. We need to be hugged. We need family, friends, and even foes, and heroes. We need nourishment.
For almost 100 years, Kellogg's has been part of children's breakfast. That's something we believe they need every day. But we also know they need a whole lot more.
What? Check it out. 31 Alfa Romeo, and it's red. Oh! 29 Bentley.
Ooh, 28 Mercedes SS.
100 of the most magnificent cars of the century are coming to Toronto this summer.
Wow. The Conklin Tornado.
And they come with a Midway, the spectacular car of the century exhibit. All the Midway rides and lots more for just $16. Let's go to the X.
82? Oh, yeah.
Is it that time of year again? Yes, summer is winding down, and that means it's time for the X. We'll have coverage from the opening day tomorrow.
As you just heard, the Canadian National Exhibition opens tomorrow. Tonight, a preview of one of this year's showcase exhibits. Opening ceremonies tonight for the Israel at 50 exhibit in Hall B of the National Trade Center. The Deputy Prime Minister of Israel in attendance tonight, along with many other local and national dignitaries. One of the highlights of the exhibit is sure to be this exclusive showing of a 5th century mosaic floor, recently unearthed in Zipporah. Also tonight, a preview of this year's feature country, the Philippines. The exhibit will celebrate 100 years of Philippine independence. And we'll have more on the CNE later in our newscast, so stick around for that. A young child taken to hospital tonight after being struck by a car. At about 9 o'clock in the Danforth and Patricia Drive area, the child was hit and was taken to Toronto's East General Hospital. A police cruiser was also involved in another crash nearby as it made its way to the first accident call. No injuries to report. Well, some jaw-dropping testimony today from the Thornhill dominatrix. This time, details about her client's unusual S&M requests. Joan Darby has more from the courthouse.
Questioned by her own lawyer, the Thornhill dominatrix described clients who wanted to be her slave, who wanted a taste of the whip and to lick her boots, but no sex. Requests were apparently varied. One client was the human fly, who she'd chase with a fly swatter or a squirt gun. And sex?
No sex? No, absolutely not. I wouldn't have sex with a fly.
Then she says there was the time one of Canada's most senior bank executives, dressed in a French maid's outfit, was locked in a coffin and accidentally forgotten for a few hours.
And then I heard a little sound coming from the coffin. Leave me alone, leave me alone.
Questioned by the prosecution, she admitted to a string of criminal convictions, but said, in this case, I am no criminal. Earlier, another defense witness, a University of Toronto professor who's written on sex and supply-side economics, took the stand. S&M's about fantasy, he says. Sex isn't necessarily always the goal.
That if you wanted to just get your rocks off so that you could go on about your daily business, you would not engage in an S&M scenario.
And out of a trial that's seen more than its fair share of unusual testimony, some old-fashioned, heartwarming news. As a result of all the media coverage, Terry Bedford, who the authorities took away from her family when she was just 6, has been reunited with her sisters. They last saw each other more than 30 years ago. John Darby, Global News, Newmarket.
Toronto police are searching tonight for a young teenage boy accused of committing 2 sexual assaults. Sue Scambatti reports.
The baby-faced suspect pictured in this composite is believed to be 13 to 18 years old.
And then it happened a little further down.
He is wanted for attacks in Brookbanks Park, one on July 1st, the other July 26th.
He would attack from the rear and come up to the victim from behind and sexually assault both of the victims on the outside of their clothing. And from the victim's description, it would appear it would have gone further if they did not fight back.
Both attacks happened in broad daylight at 12:30 in the afternoon. Police are appealing for help from the public. In particular, they want to hear from a man who cycled past the victim following the July 26th attack. The victims, aged 34 and 38, both managed to escape by kicking and screaming. Police are warning women not to walk alone in the park until the suspect is caught. These women take what they call 4-legged precautions.
We don't have any problems. We have the dogs, and I don't think anybody would come near us, really.
The young suspect is about 5'7" with a slender build. He was wearing a black and white nylon tracksuit with black and white running shoes. Sue Scambatti, Global News, North York.
Hold your travel plans. Air Canada pilots are gearing up for a strike, which could ground the airline just after Labor Day. Bill Turbovich updates the story.
It's never a good sign when collective bargaining goes public, and the Air Canada Pilots Association feels they're justified in doing so. They could strike in early September over flight safety issues.
In May, we had 24 failures of our senior pilots in 21-day period. Okay? We've had over 120 failures in a one-year period last year. If you compare with Canadian Airlines, in the whole of 1 year, they had 15. Is that not sending a strong message that we need to revamp our training standard? We're trying to save money.
Flight safety is also the core of an injunction sought by the pilots against Air Canada. They want the airline's flights from Vancouver to Frankfurt and London stopped, unless a third pilot is added to prevent crew fatigue. Air Canada feels new technology eliminates the need for an extra body. The pilots know they'll never gain the flying public's sympathy the moment their strike becomes an inconvenience. What they feel they can gain, however, is the public's understanding of their situation, that they're underpaid for what they do. They may be Top Gun in Canada, but Air Canada pilots say they make up to half the salary of their European and American counterparts. Travel agents are taking this as a sure sign of a strike and are passing it on to their clients.
They should consider an alternative. We're not being updated ourselves on a regular basis. We're aware of what the current standing is, but the best advice at this stage is to consider an alternative.
Once the Labor Minister issues a no-board report, in other words, you can't settle this at the table, so you might as well hit the bricks, a strike is legal within 7 days. That could be as far away as Thanksgiving weekend or the earliest, the second week in September. Bill Turbovich, Global News at Pearson International Airport.
And as mentioned, the CNE opens tomorrow. Today, a 99-year-old composer said thanks for the memories. Christine Crosby has his story.
At 99 years of age, Adelmo Melechi's body may not be as quick as it once was, but his mind certainly is, and his fingers follow close behind. A former Royal Conservatory teacher and examiner, he still teaches today, but it's his latest composition that is getting him lots of attention. Meet Me at the Fountain is an ode to the joys of the Canadian National Exhibition, a place Adelmo often visited as a young man.
Meet with the horse face, it doesn't sound right, you know what I mean? And it's kind of, to me, it's romantic, because I have wonderful memories, meeting people there and spending the exhibition.
The song will have its public debut tomorrow at the opening ceremonies of the 120th edition of the CNE. It'll be performed by the North York Children's Choir right here in the band shell. He's donated the song to the CNE because he wants to give back to the people. He's published over 100 pieces worldwide, including an operetta and a song for Disney to commemorate Canada's centennial. Born in Italy, Adelmo moved to New York at age 12, where he studied music. He came to Toronto and had a lengthy career at the conservatory. Today, he's a popular figure at his Thornhill retirement home.
Sometimes, you know, I feel uncomfortable, down and out. All of a sudden, a tune comes through my mind. At times, I get up at 1 o'clock in the morning. I got to write this down. And then I come here about 6 o'clock and begin to complete it. My mind is occupied. And I think that's the secret of wanting to live.
Christine Crosby, Global News, Thornhill.
Very nice. What a story. Getting set for fall fashion, and what better place to start than Holt Renfrew's new Point of View magazine. Tonight, the celebration of the new fall edition in Toronto, the splashy affair attended by Global's president, Kevin Shea, as well as Susan Hay and Christine Crosby. The Point of View's message for fall 98, yet comfortable.
And we want to get them excited about style and fashion because it's coming back. The new styles this fall are very, very exciting.
News just in from Afghanistan. There are reports 15 people were killed as a result of today's U.S. missile strikes. That from the Afghan News Service. And that is Global News. I'm Jacqueline Molcharek for Susan and all of us here tonight. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for Sportsline with Jim Taddy and Laurie Belanger. Good night.
Good night.
We, the children, need the following. We need encouragement. We need to laugh. We need inspiration. We need to be read to. We need to have self-esteem. Love and security, adventure, discipline and freedom. We need to make mistakes, ask questions, to imagine. We need to win, and sometimes we need to lose. We need to be hugged. We need family, friends, and even foes, and heroes. We need nourishment.
For almost 100 years, Kellogg's has been a part of children's breakfast. That's something we believe they need every day. But we also know they need a whole lot more.
Come on, kids. Going back to school isn't that bad. I've got all new supplies for you. I wish I was going back to school. It can be fun. You get to learn about all sorts of things like history and science and geography and social studies and math. Now that's the attitude I want to hear. We love to learn.
Business Depot has everything your kids need for going back to school at guaranteed low prices. Business Depot, the best buys in school supplies.
It's time to get into those hot summer numbers. There's the classic, the itsy bitsy teeny weeny, the really teeny weeny. And for the rest of us, there's Honda's Hot Summer Numbers event with low leases of only $208 a month on the Civic sedan and coupe, or 4.8% financing, and the same great rate on any CRV. So hurry in for Honda's Hot Summer Numbers, because we can't take off much more than this.
Live from Toronto, this is Sportsline. Hey, the Argos shred the Tiger Cats as Pinball Clements leads the way in a romp.
And Big Mac shows off for Lady Liberty and takes her for a couple of rides in New York.
Also, Steffi Graf stumbles at the Canadian Tennis Open, and she is out. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jim Caddy.
And I'm Lori Belante. Tonight's Sportsline Trivia is brought to you by Molson Export. Tonight's history in the making question is, who holds the Hamilton Tiger Cats record for the most touchdown receptions in one season? If you know the answer, call us at 1-800-265-4133. The first two correct callers will each receive one prize.
Sooner or later, a Mazda's gonna move you. We just thought we'd speed up the process. It's the Make Your Move clearance event. Get into the fun-to-drive and roomy Mazda Protege from only $179 a month, or the sleek, stylish Mazda 626 from only $249 a month. These offers end soon, so hurry and make your move today. Mazda, get in, be moved.
Sometimes the foods that tempt us can also come back to torture us with painful heartburn. If you've got heartburn, boy, have we got relief fast. Maalox, mighty fast relief. And to control acid for up to 9 hours, try new Maalox H2 Acid Controller.
Welcome back to Sportsline. There's no arguing the Tiger Cats had all the attention heading into tonight's game with the Argos, and a 6-1 record will do that for you. But the Argos must have been sick and tired of hearing about the Cats' great run. The two-time champs rose to the occasion, and with their win tonight are finally starting to show a hint of back-to-back titles. Take a look. If you're a Hamilton fan, you may not want to. With Toronto up 3-0, Kerwin Bell looks for Darryl Mitchell, and they hook up on a 24-yard major, 10-0 Toronto. Mitchell had a big night. Hey, who didn't? I think I had a big night. Kerwin Bell, second quarter, unloads to Nigel Williams, who makes the grab and turns it on for a 43-yard reception, set up a field goal. Argos led 16-3. Then it's Steve Smith. Watch this punt return, and it's a beauty. Goes up the sideline for a 40-yard punt return, set up another field goal, and that would make it 19-3 for the Argos. Argos defense stingy as well. Watch here as Donald Smith picks off this Danny McManus pass, returns it to the midfield line. Argos actually led 20-6 at the half. The Tiger Cats playing like the game was at Ivor Wynn. Bell was outstanding as he finds Nigel Williams, who will turn it on and take it to the Ticats 20-yard line here as they're penetrating at will. That sets up a connection here as Bell off-balance sidearms a long way to find Pinball Clements, 20-yard major. Toronto with a commanding 27-6 lead. In the fourth quarter, it's Bell again. This guy, I think, had a sore arm by the end of the night, looking for Mitchell down the right sideline, 34 yards. Bell with 449 yards in total passing tonight. The Argos just decimating that Hamilton defense. Then Bell again hits Clements from 11 yards out. Argos up 34-6, and the route was on, and 42-6 was the final. Hamilton drops to 6-2. Toronto even now at 4-4. Pinball, 3 touchdowns, 2 passing, 1 rushing, and the Birdman has the post-game report. William?
Well, Jim, no one could have seen this coming against the league's #1 defense. Ticats had yielded fewer than 15 points per game against, but Kerwin Bell was on the money. Pinball had 3 touchdowns, but Nigel Williams was something of an unsung hero. He didn't score a TD, but he had 3 huge catches for 158 yards, and that seemed to stretch out the Hamilton defense.
Well, yeah, that's what they brought me here for. They brought me here to make some plays, and, you know, fortunately, I'm getting that opportunity, and I'm, you know, with the grace of God, I'm doing it.
That's what makes our offense so good, is that we got 6 guys that we feel like we get mismatches here and there. But, you know, I just told Nigel I'll give him a chance to make some plays, and he's a big target, can really run, and he come up big for us, and he's been a good addition for our football team.
Ooh, well, you know, I don't know about the butt-kicking part of it. We got a lot of breaks, and a lot of things went well. And when you get a game like this and things start going well, you just feel fortunate. This is a great football team. We're going to go back there on Labor Day, and it's going to be quite a contest. They're going to remember this, and they're going to be ready.
There was a couple wrinkles in there. You know, got to give credit to them. I mean, they did a great job game planning. We just didn't do a good job executing. And again, you know, that falls full responsibility on me, making the right plays or calling the right plays. And then when the play is out there, to run exactly what the play is supposed to be done instead of making things up.
We showed a little more zone tonight. You know, we just played our assignments really well. You can't get the sack every time. As long as you get pressure on them, you know, and guys are staying in coverage, then, you know, we get what we want, you know, a lot of punts, and that's what happened tonight.
We gave up some big plays, and in this game, if you give up big plays, then they're going to kick field goals. You know, their field goal was excellent tonight. You know, he kicked some really good kicks.
They've been catching a lot of flack because they don't dominate teams like they did last year. Well, they dominated us tonight, and they did a good job of it. I give credit to Kerwin Bell, stood in there, took his hits, found the open guys, moved the ball up and down the field, and the rest, it was history.
Tonight's win means Don Matthews has won his last 6 games against Ron Lancaster. And since taking over the helm of the Argonauts, Matthews is 7-1 against the Tabbies. At Skydome, Bill Bird for Sportsline.
Next stop for the Argos will be in Winnipeg next Thursday night. One of the games tonight, Calgary 14, BC nothing. That's in the second quarter. Jeff Garcia with 2 touchdown passes so far.
Day 4 at the Des Moines Open had all the makings of a made-for-TV movie. A little romance, a dejected star, and someone on the run. While Martina Hingis tried to fend off questions about Canadian racer Jacques Villeneuve, Steffi Graf lost her confidence in a match to the 26th seed, and Jana Novotná made it 18 matches in a row. What a day. Steffi Graf trying to get in top form for the upcoming U.S. Open, but Graf doesn't look good early. Unseeded Magui Serna serves to Graf. The 2 players exchange ground strokes, but Graf blinks first. Her backhand is long. Serna wins the first set 6-4. In the second set, Graf still struggling on match point. Serna with the ace. She wins it 6-4, 6-4. Top seed Martina Hingis taking on Ai Sugiyama. This wasn't close, but it was entertaining. Sugiyama with some great chances to put Hingis away, but the world's #1 shows her great athleticism. Finally wins the point. End the match 6-3, 6-0. Second seed Jana Novotná also with the easy time today. Novotná taking on Silvia Farina. Novotná won the first set 6-1. Had a little tougher time in the second set, winning 6-4. Finally, 5th seeded Monica Seles also was a winner today. Seles taking on Yayuk Basuki, won in straight sets, 6-3 to 6-3, and she will advance. Other seeds advancing today, Martina Hingis and Jana Novotná. She's eliminated Steffi Graf, Amanda Kotzer, and Ai Sugiyama. 3 other matches were postponed today due to rain.
We're going to spend some time with the Expos to start up the baseball. The day may come when the Expos have a new nickname because they'll be in another city. Lori will explain their new home search in a minute, but first to the current digs. The Big O Rockies were there tonight, hoping to send Montreal back to the loss column. Let's take a look, see what goes on in Montreal tonight. Bottom of the first, it's the Guerrero brothers hooking up the score. The first run, Vladimir bounces a single to left field. His bro Wilton will run hard and score from second. It's the big wave, and it's 1-0 for the Expos. Still in the first, Brad Fulmer rips a single over the head of Darryl Kyle, and Terry Jones scores to make it 2-0 for Montreal. From there we go to the top of the second, a man on for John Vander Wall, and he crushes a Mike Thurman offering deep to right. A souvenir for the kids in the chief seats. Game all tied up at a deuce, but in the third, Vladimir Guerrero doing it again. This time uses the long ball, takes the expressway out of there. Solo shot to left, 3-2 for the Expos. And from there we proceed, fast forward to the top of the sixth. Rockies will take the lead thanks to some more long ball. This time it's Todd Hilton. 2-run shot to right field. 4-3 Colorado leads. and the Expos in danger of going back to the L column. And in the 9th inning, they had some insurance. Darrell Hamilton with an RBI single to right field. Jeff Reed comes in to score. Colorado out in front 5-3. And they didn't stop there because the final score in Montreal tonight, 6-3 for the Rockies, as Vanderwall got his 5th homer, Helton's 19th, Guerrero his 31st. Tomorrow, Colorado still in Montreal, right against Pavano at 7:05.
The Montreal Expos flew 75 politicians and business leaders to Baltimore yesterday to get a first-hand look at a downtown stadium that works. It's being called the last gasp at winning support, and as Global's Paul Grafe reports, it works. Now, the Orioles, of course, have the bottom bullpen.
There's no substitute for being there. A downtown stadium success story in Baltimore.
If these people talk to 50 or 100 people and can describe what they saw and can become convinced that that's doable in Montreal, then I think we'll have accomplished exactly what we want to do.
Oriole Park at Camden Yards has had near sellouts for every game since it opened 6 years ago. Yet for 80% of the fans, it's not just about baseball. It's become the place to be.
Year after year, they've just kept coming back because I think they really like the experience and they like the family experience of it, in particular being close to other attractions downtown.
The reason the Expos paid to bring this group here is because they consider Baltimore, with a population of approximately 2.3 million, to be similar to Montreal. Yet this city is really part of the greater Washington, D.C. area, and that population totals 9 million. In effect, making this the 4th largest market in the United States.
A fact that was lost on most of this group.
I deeply believe that now we need the Expo in the core of this city. And I think that the government should be involved.
Strip today convinced me that it would be the jump start that we need in Montreal downtown area.
And with reaction like that, Claude Brochu no longer has to hold an ultimatum over the heads of Montrealers.
Still to come on Sportsline, the Jays are in Seattle for Game 2. Would the thrashing continue?
And the Homer Derby goes all one way. Stay with us.
They will come.
Let us build you a great big beautiful quarter pounder with cheese for just 89 cents when you buy any drink and fries.
Wow.
You got a big traffic problem. Something blocking the road. People on your way to
What's going on here?
Get back in your truck, man.
What seems to be the problem? Well, officer, touch it.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
A whole lot can happen out of the blue. Labatt Blue.
You dance good, man. Yeah?
We should be ruling the humans. These people are our food.
The world you live in is just a sugar-coated top.
There's a war going on out there.
On August 21st,
The age of man comes to an end.
evil's greatest fear
That must hurt.
is our only hope.
There are worse things out than vampires.
Like what?
Like me.
Wesley Snipes, Stephen Dorff, Blade.
Starts Friday, August 21st at theaters everywhere.
What? Check it out. 31 Alfa Romeo. And it's red. Oh! 29 Bentley. 28 Mercedes SS.
100 of the most magnificent cars of the century are coming to Toronto this summer.
Wow. The Conklin Tornado.
And they come with a Midway, the spectacular car of the century exhibit. All the Midway rides and lots more for just $16. Let's go to the X.
82? Oh, yeah.
When you're a champion, you've got to work night and day to protect your title. Everyone wants to put you to the test, to make you sweat. But if you've got antibacterial odor fighters in your corner and 24-hour wetness protection, the kind you find in new Speed Stick Ultimate Antiperspirant, the best Speed Stick ever, you'll be a star in and out of the ring. New Speed Stick Ultimate, tough 24-hour protection.
5 minutes.
McDonald's introduces the Wild Berry Crunch McFlurry. Cold, delicious, soft serves swirled together with an awesome blend of wild berries. So if you want to really wake up your taste buds, hey, Go Wild.
Back to Sportsline. Drives one into the right field corner. Down the left field line. This guy.
1995 was a big comeback year for Monica Seles. On this day, 3 years ago, Seles defeats Amanda Koser 6-love, 6-1 to win the Canadian Open. The match took just 51 minutes.
Sportsline. Drives one into the right field corner. Down the left field line. This guy.
Well, we start off the American League wildcard race with great news from KC. Red Sox visiting this afternoon gave everyone else a big break. Well, let's set it up for you. Top of the first inning, and one on for XJ Mike Stanley. Belts it to deep left center, 2-run shot, and it's 2-0 for Boston, but that's pretty well it for them. Bottom of the first, 2 on for Terry Pendleton. Cranks it to left off Pete Shorrock. 3-run blast, 3-2 KC, and the Royals kept going from there. The final today, 8-2. Stanley is 27th, Pendleton is second, Stanley's third homer in the last 2 ball games.
On to Tampa Bay and the very hot Orioles. Top 4, Bubba Trammell takes XJ Juan Guzman deep to left center. A solo home run. It's 1-0 Tampa Bay. Bottom 7 with Tampa up 2-0. Cal Ripken Jr. cuts the lead in half with a big shot to left center off Tony Sanders. Another solo home run. 2-1 Tampa. Top 8 tied at 2. It's the ever-exciting sac fly as Bobby Smith cashes in Quentin McCracken. That's the winning run, 3-2 Tampa. Final score, 4-2. Cal Ripken Jr. with his 10th hit now is tied with Brooks Robinson for the franchise record of 2,848 hits.
Cleveland and Texas spin and bottom of the second, an RBI for the big man. Juan Gonzalez crunches this one to left off Dave Burba. Solo shot, 1-0 for Texas. Gonzalez now with 121 ribbies. Fast forward, bottom of the seventh, Texas up 3-2, 2 on for Roberto Kelly. Hits his 4th homer in 3 games. This one to center field, 6-2 Texas, and a bit of a scramble on the grassy knoll in Texas. That rarely happens for the Souvenir this time. Danny Patterson is second save. Gonzalez is 35th homer. Greer has 11. Roberto Kelly has 12. Rodriguez has 11.
And would the Jays make it 2 in a row after last night's thrashing? The Jays bats came out smoking again tonight. Top 1, Carlos Delgado delivers with an RBI single to right. Shannon Stewart and Jose Canseco score 2-0 Jays. The next batter is the hot-hitting Jose Cruz Jr. And Cruz takes Bill Swift for a ride. Deep to right, that one's out of here. A 2-run shot, 4-0 Jays in their first at bat. Smoking, top 2, Jays continue to hit. Sean Green hits a single to left. Shannon Stewart gets the wave home. The throw is cut off and Stewart scores. Green trying to be a little too aggressive though. Gets caught in the rundown. 5-0 for the Jays. Can't make it. 4th inning, it's Green at the plate again. This time he doubles down the line in right. Alex Gonzalez scores on the Green double, 6-0 for the Jays. They are hot tonight once again. Next batter, Jose Canseco, and Canseco hits a drive up the alley in left center. This cashes in Green easily. Jays out in front, 7-0 in the 6th inning. Jose Cruz Jr. with his 7th home run of the season.
Wildcard race looks like this. Boston by 7 over Baltimore. 7.5 out is Texas. Toronto 10.5 out. Anaheim doing a job tonight on Detroit. 12-6. That's in the 6th inning. And Anaheim leads Texas by 1 full game in the AL West.
Mark McGwire hit a new milestone today. His sign can now read over 150 served. Big Mac became the first player to hit 50 home runs in 3 consecutive seasons, passing the record he shared with the Babe, who did it back-to-back seasons. Let's take a look at number 50. Top of the first, Willie Blair gets Big Mac. Mark McGwire swinging in the first inning. Mark McGwire not too happy, but he will get his revenge. Bottom of the 6th, Donovan Osborne with a solid outing for St. Louis. Here he gets Mike Piazza to end the inning. Top 7, still scoreless. Brian Jordan rips this Blair offering to left center. That would be a solo shot, making it 1-0 for St. Louis. Still in the 7th, the big blast comes when Mark McGwire gets Blair back with a deep, high rocket to left center. It's 2-0 St. Louis and back-to-back shot and his 50th dinger. And we repeat, he is the first player ever to hit 50 home runs in 3 straight years. 2-0 is the final for St. Louis.
Game 2, give him a spin. Top of the first after hitting number 15 game 1. Maggie doesn't take long to hit number 51. 3-2 offering from Rick Reed ends up a rocket, hitting the foul pole. And that's exactly what home run number 51 will look like. 1-0 for St. Louis. Bottom of the fourth. 4-1 for the Cards. New York uses some long ball of their own. Mike Piazza crushes a 2-run shot that clears the bullpens. A monster shot, to say the very least. 4-3 Mets fairly. Bottom of the seventh, game tied at 4. Tony Phillips, former Jay. Weak chopper to second. Ray Ordonez scores 5-4 for the Mets. Top of the ninth. Kirk Wendell in to face Big Mac, and McGuire gets punched out looking. And even old Jer is at the ballpark. He's got nothing to do on Thursday nights anymore. 5-4. Mets win over St. Louis. Wendell, his second save. McGuire's 51st homer. Jordan is 21st. Piazza now has 22.
The Giants facing one of the teams they have to get by in the wild card race, taking on the Cubs. Bottom four, 1-0 Cubs. Lance Johnson chops one past J.C. Snow at first. Into right field, Tyler Houston scores 2-0 Cubs. Top five, Bill Miller yanks this Kevin Tappan. He hits deep to right. Sammy Sosa watches it go, nothing he can do. Solo shot 2-2. Next batter, Barry Bonds. He'll do the same thing. A blast into the bleachers in right. Some half-naked fans there. 3-2 for the Giants. But bottom five, bases loaded for Glenn Allen Hill. He launches one deep to left. A grand slam. Give him a hand, folks. Gives the Cubs a 6-3 lead. 7-3 would be the final in that game. Barry Bonds gets his 25th homer of the year, and Glenn Allen Hill, just his third, though, with the grand slam.
And L.A. and Florida, top of the first inning. Good D by Edgar Renteria. Oreo Goodlees gets Mark Rudzelanek just in time in this fine play. Top of the second, Florida up 1-0. Gary Sheffield will smack one against his former mates. This one to left, Rafael Medina, a solo shot, and it's tied at 1. No souvenir there. More good D here. Luis Castilla will snag this one. A nice over-the-shoulder catch. Back, he's got it. Oh, pretty tricky stuff. Fast forward, top of the 10th, bases loaded, still tied at 1. Justin Spire watched Jim Eisenreich. Eric Young will score because the bases were loaded. 2-1. Los Angeles over Florida. Shaw now has 37 saves. Sheffield has 20 homers. The wild card race as we speak. Chicago a half out. San Fran 3.5 out. LA 7.5 out. Derby board as we speak. McGuire at 51. Hey, he's in the same country as the Bambino and Roger now. Sosa stalled at 48. Griffey trailing at 42.
After a rare loss last night, the Yanks continue their march toward history. Bottom two, no score until Ron Coomer delivers with a shot off Mike Buddy. A solo shot for Coomer, 1-0 for the Twins. Bottom four, AL's second best hitter, Todd Walker, delivers with a solid single. Marty Cordova trots home, 3-1, Minnesota. Final in that game, though, Minnesota goes up 9-4 on the Yankees.
Other action, Oakland 3-1 over Chicago. That's in the 6th inning. Further on down the list, Philadelphia, first of two, 11-1 over Arizona. Scott Rowland is 25th. Bobby Abreu his 12th. Kurt Schilling complete game 4-hitter. In game 2, it's tied at 9 in the 9th. Wow. Pittsburgh 6-5 over Cincinnati. No homers, no saves. San Diego 2-0 over Atlanta. That's the final. Gomez his 4th homer. Hoffman his 41st save. And in the 10th inning, Milwaukee and Houston tied at 5. Still to come tonight from Sportsline, Jets and Giants tune-up NFL style.
And the CPGA Championship tees off in London.
You got a big traffic problem. Something blocking the road. People on your way to
What's going on here?
Get back in your truck, man.
What seems to be the problem? Well, officer, taxi.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA.
A whole lot can happen out of the blue. Labatt Blue.
You dance good, man. Yeah?
20th Century Fox presents Something About Puffy.
But I love you still. I need you. I need you. More than anyone, darling. You know that I have from the start.
There's something about Mary. Now play.
And guess who comes in but Andrew's cutest guy in school. I am so in love with him, right?
Hey, what are you doing? That calls for me. Come on. Hi, Carl.
Get the Vista 350 phone packaged with Bell Visual Call Waiting. Selected Smart Touch services are free for a month. Now at your Bell Phone Center store.
Sorry, I'm going to have to call you back, okay? Honey, it's for you. It's Andrew.
Andrew. Ooh, Andrew.
Do you remember the 70s?
There is no gas shortage, man. It's all fake.
The music.
They shoot it for leisure.
The clothes. The crazy stuff we did.
Your mother and I have been talking.
Turbulent days and a wild time to grow up. That 70s show, Global's Got It, Sunday at 8:30. Brought to you in part by Levi's.
The Bud Big Rig is continuing its summer tour, and this Sunday you can catch the Big Rig in Cornwall at the Cornwall Raceway. Enjoy the barbecue, NFL experience, and much more. The Bud Big Rig. It's the ultimate tailgate party. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
The CPGA made its stop in the Forest City this afternoon for the $125,000 championship. Cambridge native Ian Leggett, one of the favorites, shot a 70 after round 1 and sits 3 strokes behind the leader. Let's look at the highlights. Welcome to Forest City National in London, Ontario. Lian Wei Zhang from China misses the birdie putt on the 9th hole. Finished at a par 72. Dennis Harrington on the 9th hole also misses the birdie putt. He finished at 68, 4 under, tied for second. Dan Halderson misses the birdie putt and finished a 2 over 74. Sound like a trend? Toronto's Danny Miovic with a double bogey. However, he finished at 2 under. Rob McMillan from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Nice birdie on the 10th to go 2 under at that point, but he fell to +1 at 73. Ian Leggett from Cambridge with the approach on 11, hits it to the dance floor. He would finish on the day with a 70.
What a hunk of sod.
What a hunk. So what's he pay? Joe Lloyd is the leader at 5 under on the day. There were 6 other golfers at 3 under. On to the ladies amateur at Mississauga Golf and Country Club today. The top 3 finishers, Karine Qualley at +1, Gail Borthwick at +3, and Terry Samuel at 4 up.
All right, let's check out the PGA stop. It'll be the Sprint Davis Love the third and the tee at 7 with the 8-iron. Lions it right next to the hole, which is pretty well where you want to be unless you're in the hole. Steve Elkington in 10. This for the bird. Can't get any closer without... Look at this. Is it going to drop? Oh, it's a radar? What was the problem there? What is that? Craig Stadler with a chip on number 11 takes the wrong turn. And, well, you know, the walrus. Yep, the darn club. I think he used a stronger word. Ernie Els off the tee in 11. Look, he's got like the home run swagger there. This baby looks pretty good. Not bad, not bad. So this is the modified Stableford scoring system, which flies in the face of reality. But anyway, Singh at 15 points, Carter at 15 points, Woods at 14, Pavin at 13, Sutherland also at 13 with Davis Love the third, Mike Weir, the Canadian, at 12, and really, Mike gets an eagle, and he's tied for the top. It's a scoring system I don't want to talk about. It's kind of weird. The NFL season draws near next week. Watch Sportsline for your chance to select the first global NFL telecast of the season. You can decide. Tonight, the Giants and Jets in a battle of the Meadowlands, although some people will call this Battle of New York. Jason Sehorn, number 31, returning the opening kickoff. Watch his right leg. The Sehorn, the Giants' best defender and starting cornerback, will miss the rest of the season with a torn ACL and MCL. Preseason bragging rights in the line of New York. The Jets do battle with the Giants here. First quarter, Foley to Wayne Corbett and a quick out. 6-0 for the Jets. Still in the first. Giants respond from the 2-yard line. Barber gets the call, goes in and cuts 7-6 for the Giants. Third quarter, 17-13 Giants until Foley gets picked off by Percy Ellsworth, returns the 42-yard interception for the touchdown. Giants leading 23-13. Fourth quarter, Vinny Testaverde and a quarterback. It's Dedrick Ward on the sideline, and Ward goes the rest of the way. 81 yards for the Major. Jets come from behind and win this one 27-23, the final tune-up football.
Pete Sampras was knocked out of the Pilot Penn event today in Connecticut. Sampras, who has struggled lately, says that playing 3 straight weeks of tennis has taken its toll. It also may have affected number 2 seed Patrick Rafter. The Australian has been playing some great tennis in the last month, but he was also eliminated today. And in the NFL, Miami Dolphins wide receiver Yatil Green can't seem to shake his rookie title or his bad luck. He tore a ligament in the same knee he injured last summer, just 1 day after finally returning to the field. And the Toronto Maple Leafs say that they have reached an agreement to keep the club's AHL franchise in St. John's for another 6 seasons. And up next, tonight's trivia answer.
And we can do that now. Tonight's Sportsline Trivia brought to you by Molson Export. Tonight's history in the making question is, who holds the Hamilton Tiger Cats record for the most touchdown receptions in one season? It's not that long ago. Could be on Sportsline Remembers one night. Tony Champion, 15 in 1989. Here are the winners and their prizes. First winner will receive a classic Toronto Maple Leaf jersey, courtesy of Molson Export and Sportsline. Molson Export, history in the making. Tonight's second winner will receive a dinner for two at Sports Center Cafe. Alcohol and gratuity not included. Come to the Sports Center Cafe and help us celebrate our newly improved locations at 49 St. Clair Avenue West in Toronto and 55 City Center Drive in Mississauga.
At Studio 54, where too much was never enough.
A kid like you can get anything he wants.
The scheme was in the works.
Hi, do you want to join us?
A fortune was being concealed.
What the IRS doesn't know won't hurt you.
And revenge.
Don't forget how replaceable you are. Help me!
Was about to make it all explode. Ryan Phillippe, Salma Hayek, with Neve Campbell and Mike Myers. 54.
Starts August 28th at theaters everywhere. It's that time of year again.
Okay, Pickles, you know what to do.
When Business Depot brings you everything for school at guaranteed low prices. Just look for your Business Depot back-to-school flyer. And if you can't find it, just visit your nearest Business Depot for outstanding values like these from Laurentian, 5-Star, and Hilroy. Business Depot, the best buys in school supplies.
It's time to get into those hot summer numbers. There's the classic, the itsy bitsy teeny weeny, the really teeny weeny. And for the rest of us, there's Honda's Hot Summer Numbers event with a low lease rate of only $198 a month on the fun-loving Civic hatchback or 4.8% purchase financing. So hurry in for Honda's Hot Summer Numbers because we can't take off much more than this.
I joined the Kokanee Mountain Patrol because I really like helping people.
Excuse me? Yeah, can you turn that music up, please? Just turn it up. Look, we got a bit of a problem. Your neighbor called. It's getting late, and you haven't even invited him over yet.
Wait a minute. I thought that he was in Hawaii.
Hey, looky here, huh?
I've never seen that before in my life. I don't know who brought that. Who brought that?
Cole, Chris, and Stacy Kokanee. It's the beer out here.
We're out here helping people. That's what makes it all worthwhile.
The more power, the quicker the flash, the brighter the smiles. Introducing new Duracell Ultra with a concentrated power force to get more life out of your high-tech devices. New Duracell Ultra. More power, more life.
They're ready. Ontario Field tomatoes. Ripe, delicious, and in your store right now. Bite into Ontario. Freshness so close you can taste it.
Mark McGuire, much to his chagrin, continues to be a human highlight film. Tonight, with 2 chances to produce, McGuire didn't miss a beat. He busted out the big bats and gave us all something to look at. We start off our hot shots with big Mark McGuire. The pursuit of 61 continues. McGuire hit home run 50 in Game 1 today and hit home run number 51 in his first at-bat in Game 2. McGuire needs 11 more to break Maris's record. Our second hot shot comes from our own backyard. Kerwin Bell threw 449 yards today, including 3 touchdown passes as the Argos embarrassed the Ticats 42-6. And our third hot shot, Scott Rowland in the first game of a doubleheader. Rowland was 3 for 5, including a home run. He drove in 5 and scored 3 times.
And now, just before we Oski Wee Wee, it's Play of the Daytime sponsored by Proline. All right, back to Wrigley. Sammy Sosa hasn't had many bad days at the plate here. He doesn't get any help from Bill Miller at third. Nice defense. Take another look. Miller, great stab. Goes to second to get the force out. And old Sammy 0 for 5 with 3 Ks in the day. The windmill play.
A couple of updated scores to tell you about. The Jays in the 7th inning are leading Seattle 7-0. And Calgary 31-6 over BC at halftime. blowout night in the CFL.
Yeah, a couple of lopsided games. Oh, we don't have enough time for true confessions. Darn, I had a good one.
Too bad.
I had a good one. We'll have to wait till next week.
All right.
All right, thanks for allowing us into your homes. Good night from Sportsline.
Good night.
If you're looking for amazing value, let us shed a little light on the subject.
Right now at McDonald's, the classic taste of Quarter Pounder with cheese is only 89 cents when you buy any drink and fries.
Yum.
At Daleman College, if your roommate dies, you get straight A's.
Hey!
But it can't look like murder.
We've got 2 weeks to push him over the edge. I got some beers. Let's drink them. That one's not beer. This guy's psychotic.
Paramount Pictures and MTV Films present
Nothing like a good game of chicken, boys. What are they thinking listening to you?
Dead Man on Campus.
I thought you were dead. Oh, this close, though.
Friday, August 21st, everywhere.
Way. This must be costing a fortune, so I better hang up.
We interrupt this long-distance call for an important message.
Sprint Canada has just announced a new long-distance plan that will change forever the way Canadians talk to one another. Unlimited calling in Canada.
Call to anywhere in Canada and talk all you want evenings and weekends for just $20 a month or less. For unlimited long distance in Canada, call 1-800-THE-MOST.
Maybe I don't have to hang up just yet.
Your attention, please. This is a public announcement from Cash Converters.
We need stock now. Bring your quality used goods and valuables to Cash Converters and walk away with cash today. We buy TVs, stereos, musical instruments, jewelry, and lots more. Plus, Cash Converters is Canada's favorite store for quality used goods at low prices. Want cash? Bring your used goods to Cash Converters because we always pay cash.
A better way, Cash Converters.
McDonald's introduces the Wild Berry Crunch McFlurry. Cold, delicious, soft serves swirled together with an awesome blend of wild berries. So if you want to really wake up your taste buds, hey, go wild.
What an honor to be before